What's up, everybody? Hey, don't mind me, I'm a little bit disheveled, if you might say that. Guess that's the beauty of being, spontaneous, is I can make a video whenever, not really give a shit. But I've been working in the garden, and I've just been thinking about all these different things, and I always have these thoughts that I just want to share. Excuse me. And sometimes I write them down, and a lot of times I don't. More times than not, I in a typical day, I probably have 10 subjects or more that I want to discuss or talk with somebody about, but I don't. So making a video kind of helps me, and I take notes, of course, in my little book. And everybody needs to have a little book. Weird things pop out of the little books. I just had this page today. I was listening to a lecture on. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about here. I guess that's the freedom of the internet, is you can talk about whatever you want if you're not sponsored by a corporation, if you don't have expectations. And each one of us wants to, be able to speak our minds, and it's unfortunate that we have to cater to certain beliefs when we are sponsored or bought off, and this is what happens in corporations and politics. And anyway, having YouTube is still this way to express yourself freely. However, there's actually, I mentioned yesterday in a video, archive.org. Now, I go there to make, or to look at their Grateful Dead archive originally. I'd always known about it and used it for the Grateful Dead archive, all their Grateful Dead shows. And then, of course, found out they had Phish and every other jam band and many other bands. Then recently I went there and checked it out and found out that not only that, but they have movies, they have music. I even looked up random bands. Let's say, to check out Led Zeppelin. I looked up Led Zeppelin and Metallica, two of the bands who usually complain about copyright issues, and I found both of them on there. It's a place where people can upload music to the archive that is basically an archive of everything on the internet. But I didn't realize they had a community section. So anyway, I got to upload my own video on there as an experiment. I opened an account and I said, this is great. I can upload all my philosophy videos and start my little podcast thing I want to do and put them on there, and I don't have to worry about, having my account shut down like YouTube does, you know what I mean? Or being charged in the future, or having some kind of issue with, copyright infringement to where they have to pull a video or something. I don't plan to upload anything with copyright, but they also have all the LibriVox recordings, which are basically in the public domain. Aristotle, Plato. And here's the beautiful thing. You can volunteer for the LibriVox recordings. You can volunteer to read a book out loud, and then they publish it, and this is on a volunteer basis. This was what allows it to be free. So if you want to hear some Socratic dialogues from, Plato, or some Aristotelian, philosophy, you can listen to it while you're working or doing something else. And I just find that a fascinating thing. Today I ran into this podcast randomly that somebody, people who do podcasts elsewhere, people upload it to, to the archive site so it can be there forever. And I found an older podcast, and the guy was talking about archetypes, and so I saw the word archetypes and got into it. And he was reminding me, he was talking about how he'd watched Zeitgeist. Now, this was an older video, a few years back, so he said he was watching it for the second time, and he was thinking about how, they explain in the movie how the